Dear students, good morning. So last class we studied Lavoisier's classification, a Dufferner's classification, a D. Chon-Kata's model, and a Newland's classification. The next one is a Lothar-Meyer's approach. So the next scientist is Lothar Meyer. So in the year 1868, Lothar Meyer was studying the properties of elements. So he correlated two aspects. Number one, atomic weight. Number two, physical properties of the elements. So any one physical property can be considered, like atomic volume. So Lothar Meyer was correlating physical properties of elements with its atomic weight. He thought that properties will be changed for elements based on the atomic weight. So when atomic weight changes, properties will be changed. So this was Lothar Meyer's assumption. So he correlated any one of the physical properties with the atomic weight of the elements, and he got a straight line. It indicates both are dependent each other. When atomic weight of an element, that means atomic weight changes, properties will be changed. And he said that the elements present in the straight line will have the similar properties. So this was the proposal of Lothar Meyer. When we correlate physical properties of elements with atomic weight, we get a straight line. So both are dependent each other. Atomic weight changes, properties will be changed. And when you take the elements, each point is representing an element. So elements present in a straight line will have the similar properties. So this was Lothar Meyer's approach in the classification of elements. In the same year, Mendeleev was doing a classification of elements. So both Lothar Meyer and Mendeleev were working in the same year for the classification of elements. And unfortunately, Mendeleev's classification or Mendeleev's periodic table was published first. Okay, so before Lothar Meyer, Mendeleev published his work. So let me study the detailed classification of Mendeleev's classification. So Mendeleev is the name of the scientist. And Mendeleev thought that atomic weight should be the fundamental property for the classification of elements. Atomic weight or atomic mass. So when you consider an atom or an element, it has a weight. So atomic weight should be considered for the classification of element. So Mendeleev thought that atomic weight should be the fundamental property. If you want to classify the element, you have to consider atomic weight of the elements along with the properties. So for the classification of element, Mendeleev was studying the properties of each element. Especially he took two standard elements, oxygen and hydrogen. So he was doing the research how all the elements are reacting with oxygen as well as reacting with the hydrogen. So based on the product formed, he found what are the elements with the similar properties. So what is his first idea? We have to arrange the elements based on the atomic weight. Atomic weight changes, properties will be changed. So this is the first assumption made by Mendeleev. Then he studied properties of elements. For that he took two standard elements, hydrogen and oxygen. So during his lifetime, he had 70 elements. Okay, number of elements discovered during his lifetime was 70. So he took oxygen and hydrogen as a standard element to study the properties of elements. So how lithium is combining with oxygen, how sodium is combining with oxygen, how beryllium is combining with oxygen. Like that, he was doing chemical reactions. So he found that lithium combines with oxygen, it forms lithium oxide. Then lithium combines with hydrogen, it forms lithium hydride. So he was getting the products, oxides and hydrides. Okay. So we have to classify the elements based on the atomic weight of the elements, and we have to consider the properties of the elements. For that, he was doing many chemical reactions. How oxides are forming, how hydrides are forming. How sodium is reacting with oxygen, it forms sodium oxide. How sodium is reacting with hydrogen, it forms sodium hydride. So based on the product obtained, he came to a conclusion that lithium and sodium has a similar properties, isn't it? We take the formula of lithium oxide. 2 lithium atoms, 1 oxygen. We take the formula of sodium oxide. Na2O, 2 sodium atoms, 1 oxygen. And what about formula of hydrides? Lithium hydride. 1 lithium atom, 1 hydrogen atom. The same way, sodium hydride. 1 sodium atom, 1 hydrogen atom. So when we check the formula of oxides and hydrides formed, based on the formula, we can easily identify that lithium and sodium having the similar properties. Okay. So Mendeleev tried to classify the elements based on the atomic weight as well as properties of the elements. So he studied how oxides and hydrides are formed. So the standard elements are oxygen and hydrogen. He was reacting oxygen and hydrogen with all the elements. Based on the formation of oxides and hydrides, he found the elements with the similar properties. So he had 2 ideas: elements with the similar properties and atomic weight of the elements. And he constructed a table. For constructing the table, he proposed a law. It is called Mendeleev periodic law. So Mendeleev proposed a law. It is Mendeleev periodic law. It says the properties of elements, both physical and chemical properties. Properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic weights or atomic mass. When you consider the elements, their properties will mainly depend on atomic weight. When atomic weight changes, properties will be changed. So this is called the Mendeleev periodic law. So properties will be changed based on the atomic weight. So based on a Mendeleev periodic table, we can easily identify the elements with the similar properties. So Mendeleev was the first scientist to propose a table. Okay, when you take the remaining classifications, the detailed periodic table was not given. First time Mendeleev gave a proper periodic table, even though there are many drawbacks. The proposal of modern periodic table is based on the Mendeleev periodic table. So with the help of Mendeleev periodic table only, we have done many modifications. Finally, now we are following modern periodic table. So with the help of Mendeleev periodic law, Mendeleev proposed a periodic table. It is called the Mendeleev periodic table. So in the periodic table, we have horizontal rows as well as vertical columns. Horizontal rows will be considered as periods or series. Vertical columns will be considered as groups. Okay. So Mendeleev constructed a periodic table with the help of Mendeleev periodic law. The horizontal rows are called periods, vertical columns are called groups. What are the advantages and disadvantages of Mendeleev periodic table? So Mendeleev arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic weight, as well as he placed elements with similar properties in one group. So two aspects were considered. We have to arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic weight, like hydrogen with atomic mass 1, lithium with atomic mass 7, then beryllium atomic mass 9, boron 11, carbon 12, nitrogen 14, oxygen 16, fluorine 19. So we have to arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic mass. At the same time, elements with similar properties should be placed in the groups. You take a sodium, the properties of lithium and sodium will be similar. So sodium is placed here. Sodium is not written here. Okay. So after fluorine, we take the sodium. Sodium is placed in this first group. Okay. Atomic mass of sodium is 23. Then we can arrange magnesium 24. Then aluminum 26. Like that we can arrange aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. The next element, potassium, should be placed here. The properties of lithium and sodium will be similar with the properties of potassium. Mass approximately 39. Potassium, calcium, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, like that it will extend. Manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, like that it extends. So Mendeleev considered two aspects. What is the atomic mass of element? And what about properties of the elements? He arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic mass and elements with the similar properties arranged in the groups. Okay. And the advantage of Mendeleev periodic table is he left some blank spaces. Okay. So especially here, he left empty space in his periodic table. We know that each row is a period. So each horizontal row is called a period. Vertical column is called groups. An eighth group will have the metals like iron, cobalt, and so on. So in fifth period, he left empty space. Okay. So during his lifetime, two elements were not discovered, so that he left empty space. So the major advantage of Mendeleev's periodic table is he left blank spaces. That blank space is giving an interest to identify a new element, to discover a new element. So with the help of this empty space, scientists try to find a new element. So this is the major advantage. So new elements were discovered with the help of Mendeleev periodic table. So below aluminum in fifth period, this is in third period. Aluminum and silicon will be in the third period. In fifth period, he left two empty spaces. So these two elements were not discovered during the lifetime of Mendeleev. So later the elements were discovered. So even though Mendeleev did not have these two elements, he predicted the properties. So first advantage, the elements were not present during his lifetime, so the empty space is utilized to discover a new element for other scientists. And even though the elements were not discovered during his lifetime, he predicted the properties with the help of atomic weight. What should be the property of the elements yet to be discovered? Okay, in future, if the elements are discovered, what will be its physical properties? So, like that, Mendeleev assumed the physical properties of two elements that were not discovered in his lifetime. Okay. And he gave a temporary name for the elements yet to be discovered. He gave a temporary name. So below aluminum, he left an empty space. So he called it as Eka aluminum. And below silicon, he left an empty space. He called the element as Eka silicon. So these two elements were not discovered, but he predicted the properties, like what will be the formula of oxide, formula for chloride, density, atomic weight, like that he predicted. So let me take two examples. What will be the formula of oxides? The element will form what type of oxide? He gave the formula E2O3. If it forms a chloride, this element, it may form ECl3 type of chloride. So he predicted the formation of oxide and chloride. And for Eka silicon, he predicted what type of oxide will be formed. EO2 and ECl4. So for unknown elements, he predicted the properties. Then later, after a few years, scientists discovered that elements. Below aluminum, we should have an element. It is nothing but gallium. Name of the element is gallium, symbol Za. And here we need an element. It is nothing but germanium. Symbol is Ge. Okay. So the discovery of gallium and germanium was possible only due to these empty places. So that these two elements were discovered later. After the proposal of Mendeleev's periodic table, scientists discovered gallium and germanium, and scientists found the physical properties. What type of oxide is formed by gallium? Gallium is forming an oxide like this, Ga2O3. And the scientists found that gallium is forming GaCl3 type of chloride. Just to compare formula proposed by Mendeleev and actual formula of oxides and chlorides found by other scientists. So both are exactly equal. So this is the next advantage. Okay. So Mendeleev assumed physical properties. He proposed physical properties. So properties proposed by Mendeleev is in agreement with actual property. After the discovery of gallium, we found the same type of oxide and chloride. For germanium also the same trend. Germanium will form GeO2 type of oxide and GCl4 type of chloride. So there are two advantages in Mendeleev periodic table. One is he left empty space so that new elements were discovered. Even though the elements were not discovered during his lifetime, he predicted the properties. Later, elements were discovered like gallium and germanium. Properties proposed by Mendeleev and actual properties of the elements were in agreement with each other. Then what are the disadvantages in the Mendeleev's periodic table? So when Mendeleev was arranging the elements in the increasing order of atomic weight, he did not consider the isotopes. He considered hydrogen element. The hydrogen element is existing in three isotopic forms, as you studied in 10th. For hydrogen element, three isotopes possible. One is ordinary hydrogen, another one is heavy hydrogen, another one is radioactive hydrogen. We can write symbol like this also. Isn't it? We can follow these symbols also. Ordinary hydrogen, heavy hydrogen, radioactive hydrogen, or we can use the word hydrogen or protium, deuterium, tritium. Okay. So all the three isotopes are having the same atomic number but different mass number due to the difference in the number of neutrons. What about atomic mass? All the three are belonging to hydrogen element. So hydrogen element is having three isotopes with a different atomic mass. It has atomic mass 1, it has atomic mass 2, atomic mass 3. When Mendeleev was arranging the elements in the increasing order of atomic mass, he took only one hydrogen. Okay, he took only protium. He did not consider the other isotopes like deuterium as well as tritium. So isotopes were not included in Mendeleev's periodic table. According to atomic mass, we have to arrange protium, deuterium, tritium in the periodic table. So Mendeleev did not consider the isotopes. This is first disadvantage. The second disadvantage is some of the elements were not properly placed in the increasing order of atomic mass. Two examples are given in our book. First one is tellurium and iodine. You take group number 6 and 7. We have placed tellurium first. What is its atomic mass? 127.6. Iodine 126.9. Is it the correct order? No. When we arrange the elements, we have to follow the increasing order. So iodine should be in this place. Tellurium should be in this place. Iodine should be placed in 6th group. Tellurium should be placed in 7th group. But based on the property, iodine is in 7th group. When you take 7th group, already fluorine, chlorine, bromine is present, so that iodine is placed in group number 7. So as I told, Mendeleev considered atomic weight as well as properties. In the increasing order of atomic weight, iodine should be placed in 6th group. But property of iodine is similar with the properties of other elements in group number 7. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine will have the similar properties with iodine, so that iodine is not placed in group number 7, it is placed in group number. Iodine is not placed in group number 6, iodine is placed in group number 7. So like that, one more example is given. You take cobalt as well as nickel. Okay. Cobalt and nickel were not placed properly. Atomic weight of cobalt 59, nickel 58.7. So we are not following the increasing order of atomic weight. So in 8th group, nickel should be present first, then only cobalt should come. But the regular order is not followed. So these are all the disadvantages of Mendeleev's periodic table. Okay. So the history of classification of elements over: Lothar-Meyer classification, Duffern's classification, D. Chonkatais classification, Newland's classification, Lothar-Meyer's classification, Mendeleev's classification. So all these are preliminary works. In each classification method, there is a drawback. So in most of the classification methods, atomic weight was considered as a fundamental property. So Mendeleev, Lothar Meyer, Newland, they were considering atomic weight of the elements. They thought that we have to classify the elements based on atomic weight. But the recent studies have proved that atomic number should be the fundamental property. For an element, we have the atomic mass as well as atomic number. You take the lithium, its atomic mass is 7 approximately. What about its atomic number? Exactly, it is 3. So what is the definition of atomic number? Number of protons present in the atom. How much protons actually present in the nucleus of an atom? It is called atomic number. The symbol for atomic number is Z. Okay. So when you consider an atom, how much protons present inside the nucleus? It is the atomic number. You can consider electron also. In an atom, equal number of protons and electrons will be present. If you take lithium atom, inside the nucleus there will be 3 protons. Outside the nucleus we will have 3 electrons. Then only it will be a neutral atom. An atom is neutral because it will have equal number of protons and electrons. So for atomic number, always we will consider number of protons present inside the nucleus. We will not consider number of electrons because it is an electropositive metal. Anytime it can form as a lithium cation by losing an electron. So for finding the atomic number, often we consider number of protons present inside the nucleus. Number of protons is nothing but atomic number. So after Moseley's work, we confirm that atomic number should be the fundamental property for the classification of element. We should not consider atomic weight. We have to consider only atomic number. Okay. So atomic mass is mainly due to number of protons and number of neutrons. As I told yesterday, inside the nucleus we have positively charged protons and chargeless neutrons. Mass of number of protons plus mass of number of neutrons will be called atomic mass. So atomic number is nothing but number of protons. Don't consider number of electrons. It may form as a cation or it may form as an anion. So that always atomic number is considered as the number of protons. How will you calculate atomic mass? Atomic mass is nothing but mass of number of protons plus mass of number of neutrons. We have to add mass of all the protons and the mass of all the neutrons present inside the nucleus. It gives a value. It is called atomic mass. Here we will not consider electron. Mass of electron is negligible, 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kilogram. Okay, now the question is why we have to consider atomic number as a fundamental property. We take hydrogen element, as I told, hydrogen element will exist in 3 isotopic forms: protium, deuterium, tritium. In all the 3 isotopes of hydrogen, atomic number will be same. Usually atomic number will be written in the left side subscript part of the symbol of an element. The symbol of hydrogen is H, the symbol of protium is H, symbol of deuterium D, symbol of tritium T. The number which is written in the left hand side subscript part is called atomic number. The number which is written in the superscript part of a symbol of an element. The number which is written in the right hand side, superscript part of the symbol of an element, is called a mass number. So this is mass number. This is what? Atomic number. Usually. Okay, so when we write an element or isotope of an element, we will have two values. One is atomic number, another one is mass number. Atomic number is nothing but number of protons. What about mass number? Mass number is nothing but number of protons plus number of neutrons. So within the nucleus, how much protons and neutrons present. So this is called a mass number. So the question is, why we have to consider atomic number as the fundamental property for the classification of elements. When you take isotopes, all the isotopes will have the same atomic number, right? So when elements are classified, we no need to consider the isotopes. For all the isotopes, atomic number is the same. For hydrogen element, atomic number 1 means it may be in the form of protium or deuterium or tritium. For all the isotopes, its atomic number is 1. Mass number is different, atomic mass is also different. This has atomic mass approximately 1, not exactly. Approximately mass 1, approximately atomic mass 2, approximately atomic mass 3. So when we arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic mass, we have to write protium, deuterium and tritium. So it leads to confusion in the periodic table. We cannot place all the isotopes of hydrogen. If we include all the isotopes, we cannot construct a periodic table. So atomic mass should not be considered, atomic weight should not be considered for classifying elements. So we have to consider only atomic number. For all the three type of isotopes of hydrogen, atomic number same. In all the three isotopes, number of proton is 1, but number of neutron is different. Here there is no neutron. It has 1 neutron. It has 2 neutrons. Right? The same way, you can consider other elements also. Take chlorine. The atomic number of chlorine element is 17. There are 2 isotopes with mass number 35 and 37. So if you arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic weight, you have to give the place for chlorine 35 element and chlorine 37 element. Approximate mass 35 AMU, approximate mass 37 AMU. So you have to place these 2 isotopes, but we don't have that much place in the periodic table. So both the isotopes are having the same atomic number. Number of protons is same, but number of neutrons may be different. Here 18 neutrons, here 20 neutrons. So don't classify the elements based on atomic weight. Classify the elements based on only atomic number. So this is the fundamental property. So this conclusion is obtained from the Moseley's work. With the help of Moseley's work, we come to the conclusion. Atomic number should be the fundamental property for the classification of elements. So Moseley did an experiment. He took the elements. High-speed electrons were allowed to pass or allowed to strike the elements. You take any element like lithium or sodium and so on. High-speed electrons are bombarding the elements like lithium, sodium, potassium and so on. Bombarding is nothing but attacking. So when high-speed electrons are attacking the elements, X-rays are emitted. The elements will emit the X-rays. We will get a X-ray diffraction pattern. And we can calculate frequency of X-ray. Okay, so we pass high speed electrons. When electrons are striking the elements, it emits X-ray. X-ray diffraction will be obtained, and we can get frequency of X-ray emitted from the element. For each element, what is the frequency of X-ray, which can be calculated. So mostly related two things. One is square root of frequency of X-ray for an element and its respective atomic number. So mostly calculated the atomic number. For each element, he found what is the square root of frequency of X-ray. And in his correlation, he obtained a straight line. Okay. So it confirms that these two are directly proportional. When atomic number changes, square root of frequency of X-ray changes. So square root of frequency of X-ray is equal to A into Z minus B. So this is the mathematical expression obtained from Moseley's work. So property will be changed when atomic number changes. In Moseley's work, the major conclusion is what? When atomic number changes for an element, definitely its property will be changed. So atomic number and the property, like frequency of X-ray, square root of frequency of X-ray will be changed. So we know that Z is a symbol of atomic number and AB are the constant values. AB will be the same value for all elements. Both the values will be same. So with the help of Moseley's work, which should be the fundamental property, atomic number should be the fundamental property. So a periodic law is proposed. Like a Mendeleev periodic law, one more periodic law is proposed. The physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of the atomic numbers. So with the help of Moseley's work, we come to the conclusion that property will be changed when atomic number of element changes. So instead of atomic number, if you write atomic weight, it is Mendeleev periodic law. This is modern periodic law. The physical and the chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic numbers. Then, when elements are arranged in the increasing order of atomic number, not atomic weight, we arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic number. Elements with similar properties will be repeated at regular intervals. When you take lithium, it is in group number 1, sodium, potassium, rubidium. So we arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic number. So when we arrange the elements with similar properties will be placed in a group and the interval will be same. Atomic number 3, atomic number 11. For lithium, atomic number 3, sodium 11, potassium 19. So at regular intervals, elements with similar properties are repeated. It is called a periodicity. So we arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic number. Elements with similar properties are repeated at regular interval. Between these two, what is the difference in the atomic number? 11 minus 3, 8. Difference in the atomic number, 19 minus 11, 8. So at regular intervals, elements with similar properties are repeated. It is called a periodicity. So with the help of modern periodic law and electronic configuration of elements, modern periodic table is constructed. That will be discussed tomorrow. Thank you.